In the Zelda games, each of the games offer different motifs, interpretations of Hyrule, gameplay, puzzles that all give the game its own identity. But as we all know, they're all tied together with familiar elements, recurring themes, and a legend that connects all of the stories. One thing that hasn't been different for the entirety of its grand lineage is the protagonist Link. Link has always been about the same in his upbringing that eventually leads him down to the path of hero, coming from humble beginnings with little to sometimes no training whatsoever with the sword, with his extended background usually shrouded in mystery. Well, that all changes in Breath of the Wild. Although he may seem similar to the heroes that came before him, Link in Breath of the Wild is actually incredibly different and sets himself apart in huge ways from prior incarnations. Let's take a look into how Link is different in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Let's start with this first point. Link being right-handed. While Link has been right-handed before in the Zelda games canon, being Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess for the Wii doesn't count as it's a mirrored version of the GameCube version. The Wii U version actually clears this up. Link is naturally right-handed in Breath of the Wild. While the developmental reasons for Link being right-handed in past games come from the need for motion controls, with the populace being predominantly right-handed, Breath of the Wild never really had any real reasoning to make Link right-handed, which in a sense makes Link from this game truly right-handed from a complete point of view that was naturally occurring. Link being left-handed was always something to put himself apart from others within the series of Zelda and as a whole in gaming, so this is one big thing that sets himself apart already as a Link within the Zelda series. Link has a backstory and came from greatness. Unlike nearly every other Link in the Zelda series, the Link in Breath of the Wild actually has a cohesive backstory that isn't shrouded in mystery. We usually don't know where Link comes from, and literally in the first game, he came from nowhere. Ocarina of Time comes pretty close in giving us a hint at an origin, but Breath of the Wild blows it completely out of the water. In this game, Link's story is that he was born as a prodigy into a house of the Royal Guard, a clan of knights sworn to protect the royal family. It was then on that he rose through the ranks with age and became appointed as the head of the Royal Guard like his father once before him, and became Knight to Zelda. It is in this backstory that we also learn that Link this time around actually came from greatness, as he was defeating adults in swordplay as a child. His skills and courage were so impressive that a feat accomplished in front of the king himself is what allowed him to secure his coveted title as champion. Even though Link was a prodigy with weaponry, including and especially the sword, he never passed up on the opportunity to train. This already puts him at an incredibly stark contrast to previous Links, who have an incredible humble background. Link in Breath of the Wild was born into a family of noble knights who already had close ties to the royal family. He was born a prodigy whose feats became apparent in Hyrule long before he had any inclination to his destiny, and despite that talent, he had a huge background in training that eventually led him onto the path of greatness, in contrast to the previous Links who would have greatness thrust upon them due to their destined path of the hero. Link already has the Master Sword and doesn't put it back. This one is incredibly huge, as while yes, we did have to attain the Master Sword within the adventure of Breath of the Wild, the story of Breath of the Wild before the Calamity shows in great detail that Link already owned the Master Sword for a time, and even after everything is said and done in the game's perfect ending, Link continues to wield the Master Sword. Why this sets this Link apart from the others is crucial because the Master Sword, although tied to the spirit of Link, is something that is earned through grueling trials, something that has to be obtained upon proving the spirit true to the sword in some way, shape, or form. Yet Link had it off the bat and truly came to own this sword. It was never explained how Link truly earned or proved himself to the sword, as in previous titles obtaining items, opening a door, or even tempering the blade itself was part of the deal of getting the Master Sword. But Link just inexplicably owned the sword already. Not only that, but a staple within the Zelda series for Link and the Master Sword is that when the job is done, Link would put the Master Sword back to rest. But not this time around, nope. Link continues to wield the Master Sword while picking up where he left off as Zelda's personal guard. Not to say I have a particular problem with Link continuing to wield the Master Sword, but it seems that Link is disregarding the status quo when it comes to handling it. Link's blue design. There's obviously a no-brainer. Link has always been green, or has grown to be green in all of the Zelda games, but Link this time around stands out with a cool blue tunic and even started to slowly but surely reflect on his other appearances that relate to the Legend of Zelda. Blue has always been more associated with Zelda herself when it comes to the Triforce of Wisdom and the royal family, and the Sheikah, and to see this visual theme pervade through the entirety of Breath of the Wild was honestly refreshing. While Link's staple green tunic is obtainable in the Breath of the Wild, it's never truly highlighted as a huge regard in marketing or even in the game, pretty much regulated to an ultimate Easter egg if you will. Link's role as champion, knight, and captain of the Royal Guard. Link has always had the role of the hero. His previous roles, if he had any, was always very low level occupancies, such as student, a ranch hand, and a blacksmith's apprentice. After these roles, Link would somehow stumble upon his destiny as being the hero to strike back evil and restore peace to the land. In Breath of the Wild, that isn't the case. Link was built from the beginning to be something greater than himself, to be someone that would fight for the peace, to be someone that could potentially turn the tide of a battle and win the day. Link was raised to be a knight, a royal guard, eventually becoming its captain. He became champion and personal defender to the crown princess of Hyrule herself, Zelda, all before the game even began. This stance is imperative to understand that this Link is different. He was raised differently, and he came from a radically different background than the Links that came before him. It's kinda almost referenced that this Link was bred specifically for this purpose, due to the knowledge of the legends that came before him at the royal family's disposal. And if that was truly the case, then that's actually pretty messed up, which will lead into the next point. Link's personality and reason for silence isn't a secret. Now here's the big thing. Link was always designed to be a blank slate for players to project themselves onto when they're playing the adventures of The Legend of Zelda. However, this seems to be loosened up as time went on with the series, but Breath of the Wild takes that notion and throws it out the window before trying to bring it back. Yes, Link is silent and almost shows no personality traits in Breath of the Wild, but the main difference here is that there is a reason for this, and the reason isn't a secret. In past Zelda games, Link's low amount of exuding personality is inexplicable and it's just glossed over as that's just the way it is. However, in Breath of the Wild, Link had a personality before the advent of the game's events, but he had to put it under lock and key as noticed by Mipha and explained to Zelda when he finally opened up why he's so quiet and why he keeps his personality under. It's all because of his duty and what is expected of him. He has all eyes on him due to his status, his job, and his role. He feels the situation that brought him into the fold has everyone around him on edge, and not to potentially exasperate anything, he chooses to be like this for the greater good of everyone and everything around him. Now that's yikes. Link being different in Breath of the Wild is something that gets shined over, but when you break through the glass and look inside, Link is an entirely different beast in this game, an evolution if you will, and it's something that I do enjoy seeing. While he may be different, he doesn't truly betray the character and the spirit of those who came before him. What do you think about Link being different? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, share, comment, and most importantly subscribe to HMK for more Zelda content and Breath of the Wild videos. So until the next one, I've been HMK, and I'll check you guys later.